Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today. I wanted to share with you how I dissect my Milady textbook, or any textbook for that matter. I want to apologize for the lighting and the sound. I am in my dining room as I move stuff around in my studio because I thought we were going to get flooded from Hurricane Harvey. So I apologize for the bad lighting and the shadows. Alright, so I wanted to show you, before we get started with the cosmetology book, I wanted to show you that you could do this technique with any textbook. My husband taught this class last year and the year before, and this is how I divided his textbook to help him because he was a little bit overwhelmed, first time teaching business. Alright, so on the side, and this is all I had, was just the ugly little yellow sticky notes. So I had to make do, I had to cut them and make do with what I had. Now I have a little sticky note dashboard that I made. I'll put in the link of the video of how I made this. But this is awesome because all my stickies are in one spot. I punch a hole in it and it goes into my journal. So now I use the cute little, it just makes it fun. If you're going to do it, might as well have fun with it, right? Alright, why be boring? Alright, so here on the sides I have my chapters, so I went ahead just because his book was, it's all the same colors and it's really hard to, and it doesn't have it on the bottom like his chapter numbers, it has it on the inside. So I put a tab on the side, chapter 1, 2, 3, etc. So that way it was a lot easier for him to find his chapters. Okay, that's just if your book doesn't indicate somehow that you're changing chapters, okay? On the top, I went ahead and did my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what I was doing with each day of the week with that chapter. All right, so this particular book is very well laid out. So this is chapter 1, okay? So from Monday to Tuesday tab, this page, this, and this is what I would cover for on Monday. That's what I would base my lesson on for Monday. For Tuesday in his book, this book is very well done. It's already lesson 1.2. So this is how I divided this book. At every lesson, I would change the day. Okay, so from this lesson to 1.3 was Tuesday. Wednesday was 1.3, okay? And that was the end of that particular chapter of the lesson part of it, okay? On Thursday, it was review, vocabulary, it was questions. That's what he would do on Thursday. On Friday, it was like a project, okay? So with DECA. So this is how I divided the book for him. Any chapter that you go through, chapter 2, it's the same thing. These are the pages we cover on Monday. These are the pages on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's very easy to be able to dissect the book, organize your lessons, not let the book overwhelm you as to like my first year. I didn't know my content. It's not that I didn't know, but I was working in the salon. We don't do all of this in the salon. Last time I had seen all of the textbook stuff in cosmetology was when I was in school. And so I had to relearn my content to be able, learn it enough to be able to teach it. Okay, there's a big difference there. So I very, very heavily relied on my textbook. And for a new teacher, that's something that you do until you do it for a while, and then you can say it backwards and, in your sleep. So however your textbook is, use the resources your textbook has so that you aren't reinventing the wheel when you're trying to get used to teaching, okay? So that would be my tip. Just use what's in the book the first year. Go off of the book. After that, you got the hang of it, then you can jump off the wagon and reinvent the wheel if you want. All right? So this is with that book. So let me go ahead and show you the Milady book for cosmetology. Okay, so this year I am teaching intro. Last year I did not teach intro, I just taught 9th, so I didn't have a particular book. And then the year before we had ebooks, which I didn't really like because well, I won't get into that, but there's a lot of reasons why I didn't like the ebook. It was just more difficult, and technology got in the way, and the students didn't have their tablet, and I like to touch it. I like to flip the pages. It's just easier, and that's just me. That's just my opinion. But ebooks were great for their own reasons, but then hard copies are great for their own reasons. Okay, I'll never not get hard copies ever again. All right, so, and that's just my opinion. All right, so I very heavily relied on this when I first started teaching, and then as I would go through the chapters, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot of theory. I only have a few hours with the students, and how am I supposed to make this fun? And so my first year, what I did is I talked forever in front of the classroom. I would literally read the book to the student, and I had PowerPoints from the actual book. And I'm not saying they're bad, they're wonderful PowerPoints, they're well done. It's just for my teaching style and my learning style, it was just, it doesn't fit, it doesn't go. But at the beginning, I didn't know, I was first year teacher, so I heavily relied on it, put the PowerPoint on, and I would read to the student every word on the PowerPoint, and it has like 100 words on PowerPoint. It's like no pictures, and it was just difficult, and they've updated them now, but back, we had the older versions, and so it was just very difficult to teach and keep the students' attention. And so as I evolved in my skill here with teaching, then that's when I went ahead and started to create prezzies, and I would just use a lot of pictures, and instead of teaching from the book and using the book as my crutch because I didn't know my content very well, now I teach from memory and from my knowledge box, and which is my brain, and this is just an aid. The PowerPoint is an aid. My prezzies that I don't use PowerPoint anymore. I only use Prezi, and I don't use the textbook one. I follow the textbook, and for example, if this was a thing I had to cover, I read it, I Google a picture, I put the important information, I put it in my Prezi presentation. And I don't really put a lot of words. I only put like titles or important things that I have to make sure not to forget in my Prezi. But other than that, I just put pictures, and I teach from the picture. I don't teach from the text. So what that demonstrates to the students is that I know my stuff. Okay, I know the content well enough that I don't need words. I don't need to be reading it to you because I know you can read. I'm teaching you what I already know, and this is the reading part is just reinforcing what I'm teaching you. That has a lot of value when your students are watching you teach. If you just stand up there and you read from the PowerPoint and you turn around looking at the words on the wall or the board or whatever, and your students are just sitting there listening to you read it in their head, they're like, I can read. If this is what we're doing, you can sit down at your desk and just let me read my book. You lose them. This is just how it is. So don't read to them. Like your first year, you're gonna, because you're trying to get the hang of everything. But once you get your knowledge good, go ahead and don't read to them. Don't teach directly from the words. Teach from your knowledge. Okay, and just know it takes time to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and go over to chapter 1 and show you how I dissect this. So this is chapter 1. Okay, so this chapter is very small. I also will link just at the end of the video how I do my questions and vocabulary for this school year. Okay, this is per se Monday. Okay, let's just say Monday. This book is divided by sections by this little header, or I don't know what little title right here, and these little boxes. Okay, that looked ripped off on one end. Okay, so this is from this one here to this one here, and in between, this is what I'm going to cover on Monday. So I take a little tab from my dashboard, sticky note dashboard. Okay, I write the little letter M for Monday, and that's what we're covering on Monday. Okay, Monday's at the top, Friday's at the bottom, Wednesday's in the middle, Tuesday, Thursday on the middle parts. Okay, so when I get to Tuesday, here's Tuesday. Okay, career paths for cosmetologists from Tuesday to Wednesday. Okay, now this particular chapter is just a few pages. So the next section, salon management, I want to make sure I spend some time on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this section as a dividing point. So this is what I'm going to cover on Wednesday. Okay, and this page here, well, there's not much there. Okay, so Tuesday or Thursday, Friday, I could do, you know, vocabulary or questions for theory. Okay, it is short. It is very short. If I just go over this here, I can do other activities with it as well. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to a chapter that's a little bit more, it's a little bit bigger, has a lot more content in it. Okay, on the side, I still have my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays down here. All right, so chapter 15, which is scalp care, shampooing, and conditioning. Okay, again, my vocab here, questions are in the back of the chapter. All right, so here is where it starts, scalp care and massage, down here at the bottom. Okay, this is Monday. My next one, hair brushing. Okay, so from this section here to this section here, I'm gonna cover on Monday. So then Tuesday is my next one. We see Tuesday goes from hair brushing to the next section, which is understanding shampoo. So from here to here, it's not even a full page, okay? But that's what I'm covering on Tuesday. Wednesday, so it's on the tabs are on the same page, but it's okay. All of my tabs remain on my right side, so regardless if the page starts on the left, all my tabs are on the right, just because OCD, I'm just going to blame that on OCD. So understanding shampoo is for Wednesday, so I'm going to cover, and it's a little bit more pages, I'm going to cover all these pages for Wednesday. And then understanding conditioners Thursday. And the last one is draping for Friday. All right, so here, after this page, you're going to go ahead and start to see the procedures. So these are all the procedure pages. So let's see, we have post-service procedure, oily hair and scalp treatment, basic shampoo conditioning, scalp massage, until you get to the glossary and the questions, all right? So these here can be used when you go back, let's say on Tuesday, that you had hair brushing, which is not even a whole page, it's this bottom section here, and then this up here. So you can have a very short theory. Your theory does not have to be a whole hour, 2 hours of you standing in front of the class talking. Don't do that, because you're gonna lose your kids like that, okay? Make it short, make it sweet, and make it informative. Tell them what they need to know. Don't go on and on and on and on, because you're gonna lose them, okay? Or at least in my experience, I would lose my kids when I did that all the time, so I don't do that. I learned my lesson. All right, so with the hair brushing, okay, you want to go ahead and spend whatever time you need to do in theory on this, and quickly you can move over to lab whenever, and you know, you can cover any one of these procedures that pertains to this section or what you've done previously. Obviously, you can't do a shampoo here on Tuesday or Monday when you haven't taught it just yet. So that's just how I manage my textbook, how I dissect it. I think that a textbook is like an elephant. You know, it's this huge thing. It's a huge chapter, especially it can be very, I think, intimidating. It was for me, for sure, for new teachers. When I opened the book, I was like, oh my gosh, where do I start? Where do I stop? I would always do at least an hour of theory every day, and oh man, I lost them like that. My first year was the worst discipline-wise, just because classroom management, just because one, I didn't know what I was doing, right? I was new, but two, because I read the book to them too much. I relied too heavily on this, which is what you do when you first get started. But as you go along, you'll notice and you'll see and you'll start to learn and get the hang of your content in the book and all, that you won't need this so heavily. You can just find more creative, fun ways to teach. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you guys how I dissect a book. This is a new book. It's the same book that the students have. And I have not gone through and done all my chapters, which I will, but I just wanted to share with you how I break down the book. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos, and see you real soon.